Okay, I'm not sure. We're still in this Mercury retrograde energy. So I'm just gonna roll with it like this for now. Because I can't tell what's happening here. So let's see. Oops, wrong one. Oh, hell. Wrong one again. If anybody's here, hold on. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna give it a go for a little minute here, and then see what happens in a second. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. Hold on if anyone's here. Da 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 da. Greetings. If anybody is here, I'm stalling to see if my internet is working. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok live at The Real Bloom from within love. I go by Bloomy. And we are in Mercury retrograde, and I always have internet and data issues, but Mercury retrograde is kind of heightening it. So if there's anybody here, and because it's lagged, so if anyone's here and it sounds like kind of breaking up, I do apologize for that. Um, but bear with me. I'm doing the best I can here. Um, man, anyways, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm thinking about going onto the YouTube, but hey, I think I did YouTube earlier, so I'm trying to balance it out and be a little bit more fair here. And so, in the title, if there is anybody here, I just want to say thank you for joining. If you're a returning follower and viewer, I just want to say thank you. If you're here on that high vibe energy, I appreciate you. I send you love and light and wish you well on your journey. To the newbies, welcome. I invite you to check out my bio section as well as some of the pinned videos if you want to know a little bit more about me. And so if you jive with my vibe, then I would love to have you follow and like and share and all that good old stuff. Okay. So I know the lights are flashing, you guys. So it's like it'll slow down. See, there you go. The topic, it says that the saying, I would never, the saying, I would never, right? It's a common statement, isn't it? something that most of us have used or have been around most of our lives, right? Just a common conversation. I would never. All I know is I would never. I would never do this, or I would have never done that, and I would have never, and I would never, right? Okay, it's common. So, this is actually very brief because the bloomster is about to, her about to lay it down, okay? Um, but I wanted to bring it up because for those of you who, first and foremost, you resonate with being on this conscious ascension path in some way, shape, form, or another. You can resonate as starseed, indigo, earth angel, whatever, right? And you may be, no matter what your age range is, but especially for, those of you who have parents that are of the old school times, right? And so there's this culturalization or programming, if you will, that talks about, there's this blind respect. Okay. I call it blind respect. Blind respect to a degree. So hear me out. Blind respect just by way of blood or by way of this is your mother, this is your father, this is your, like the elders, right? So I don't want to get too deep into all the various teachings that really surrounds this topic, but the statement I would never. And so you would usually hear the elderly crowd, mothers, fathers say things like, I would have never treated my mother that way. I would have never treated my grandfather, my dad, my, so and so, that way. I would have never, right? I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying you would hear those statements, right? I invite you. And if you're a star seed, or like I mentioned before, you, first of all, you just, you already know to get down, right? Your awareness, your consciousness is expanded a little bit. So it's not about that chronological age. I need to say that. Now, so you may wonder, and I'm going to say it for you, because at the end of the day, at least this is in my resonance collective, and if this is fitting for you, of course, then take that. I'm not here to push anything onto anybody. Okay, if you haven't figured that out yet, that's not my get down. Okay, um, so take what I'm about to say if it's fitting for you. At the end of the day, because this came to my mind, I was kind of going about my day, like, da da da, just doing me as usual, right? And I get downloads at random times, but I don't even want to get off into that anyway. I heard first, I heard the statement, I would never, da da da, done this or done that or said this or said that, right? Concerning to my mom, to my dad, to my this or my that, right? I would have never treated them or said yada yada. The thought that followed that when I got the download is, and children, okay, because they're human beings too, okay, even children, underage children, young adults, and even adult, adult, I don't know what to call it, adult, offspring, descendants, sons and daughters, would say, and I would have never treated my son or my daughter this way. I would have never said or done this or that to my son or daughter. Do you hear what I'm saying? Catch what I'm saying? Because see, that blind privilege, this blind respect is kind of as an entitlement that by way of, because they, had, you know, they, y'all know what I'm saying. They did what they did to produce with another, and thus came thou you, right? That automatically means some type of a special privilege. But what if, think about this, and just being fair, all things being fair, because like I said, all humans, children are human beings, divine beings. They're not here to be some, people's, ragamuffin or you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. So, you know, that blind respect is like, well, no, no, sorry. Because at the end of the day, the laws of the universe, spiritual laws, you know, there's so many laws, and I'm not going to get into all that. But at the end of the day, your treatment, if you've done some fucked up shit, you know what I'm saying? Don't care what, you know, at the end of the day, if you didn't treat someone properly, okay? If you didn't treat your child properly, young, old, whatever the age range is, why should they? Why should they? Because what I find ironic is the very behavioral traits or activities in which they find to be unimaginable or unimaginable or just absolutely um, wrong done to them is usually the very same things that they have done to their children. Okay. And what I find kind of ironic, collective, about the human journey here is that even still, sometimes we don't put the pieces together. Even still, as we're sitting, and some of the things that the universe, source creator of all, spiritual guides, whatever you want to call it, has been trying to use as teaching, because that's what this whole thing is all about, to help us all see our own reflection or to see our conduct in order to take a shift, realizing, like, do you not understand? Okay, now I do know, disclaimer, that's not always the reason. I get that, you know, there's black magic and all kinds of other fuck shit, you know, people partake in and weird shit and, you know, you name it on this earth school, right? So, you know, all things being equal, I'm not talking about just the happenstance of things. I'm talking about the law of cause and effect. Okay. And the privileged group mentality and hierarchies. Oh, because I am this age, because I had sex and created in that way and had a child, because I have accrued this amount of education and title, like equating that to automatic respect. But if your conduct isn't warranting it, every human being, no matter what our particular belief systems are, our attitudes, our personalities, our cultures, our backgrounds, no matter what that is, all humans, even the ones that we squirt out of our loins, okay, they deserve honor. As simple as that. And they have a voice. See, there are certain cultures that actually, due to the traumas and, you know, the ancestral lineage and whatever happened throughout the Akash history, you know, I ain't gonna get too far into all that either, another video. But that trauma, okay, and the culture has this setting template when one is not awakening and or healing, that certain things ought to be just automatic in terms of, based on, like I said, you know, children should be seen and not heard. All of those good old things, you know, that we have heard throughout history. In other words, almost crippling and handicapping their offspring. And then as these offspring, you know, grow, you know, and as far as like chronologically, you know, becoming adults, and then they all wonder and they sit back and they'll go, you know, how come? Or certain cultures will sit back and go, well, how come? Or certain even belief systems will sit back and go, okay, well, how come? But not once thought, did you not silence them? Did you not? Did you not gaslight them? Did you not? See, all those things are energy, and they're shaping and they're influencing, okay? And it's not honorable. We can hide behind whatever we choose. to justify things. It's not honorable. Certain things cause within, family dynamics. It's actually written all through the scriptures that most people say they read and pick and choose, right? Isn't that kind of atypical of human? But it's not honorable. All life is simple. Beatitudes. But no one is really, it can get to a place where it's about y'all know what I'm saying. Because, if you're old enough, you didn't see this and live this and played this out in your own kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to have the surface effect of those things. It's something altogether different to be that. Because it's not a pause button, you see. It's not something that we get to just, put in a conversation. And then after we get off the phone, we're, getting in groups and doing all kinds of weird shit, pretending like that ain't happening. Okay? Towards another human being. But deny and say, I would never do such a thing. I would never practice black magic and spell work. Oh, yeah. Yeah, can hide it, but yeah. And, again, you guys, black magic, spell work, all that. I'll do another teaching on that probably on my YouTube platform, because it's varied. But whether they're a parent, a sibling, a friend, a lover, a clergy, or whomever, anytime we're opening our mouth, writing something, thinking something, hiring someone to do something, underhanded or with the bent of trying to somehow control the life of another by way of what we're uttering. Anytime, that is it. It is black magic. Okay? There are people that are closet practitioners in that way. Okay? That's just the name of the game, y'all, in this 3D karmics. Yes, you can be born into a karmic family. Not the easiest pill to swallow. But once you see and you realize what you need to realize, it changes the game for you. None of us, myself, anyone else, have the right to, in our fear and ego, our lower mind, and our pretension, in our whatever, I'm mad, I got an attitude, I don't like this, I don't like, whatever. Now we're breaking spiritual law. Everything cause and effect, right? This is something we all eventually see play out. We don't always connect the dots because sometimes it'll bounce around, or it can creep up on you, or it's based on frequency and so many other factors, but it'll happen when we put out what we're putting out. Okay? Especially if it's a divine. It serves us all well. It's something I swallow, collective. There's a fine line, and there's a difference between one standing up for oneself and one targeting somebody out of sheer hate, envy, and jealousy. Two different things here. There's a different frequency to that. Remember that, because you do have a right to speak your truth, collective. And when I say your truth, I'm talking about your life experience, what you have actually lived out and lived through, whether people believe you or not. Because at the end of it all, at some point, you guys, it's the way it is. Things will be revealed. The universe, source, ascended masters, higher self, yada, yada, yada. The long suffering, the patience is in the name of humanity, in the name of love of all, in the name of everyone is on a different kind of a path and a different, pace and by their own birthright to do. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of violations, giving individuals fair play and a fair shot, that's what it's about. A fair play and a fair shot to clean something up before the universe steps in, before it goes to levels that maybe did not have to be. But humans do have free will, so that's kind of the teeter-totter of all of that as well. Okay. No, I kind of shifted off gears just a little bit, but it's all kind of still in the same arena. That statement, I would never. Isn't that funny about us though, as humans though? Like just be on the real. Like we don't be caring about nothing until it's us. We don't care about gossip until the gossip is about us. We don't care about lies until the lies are about us. We don't care about injustices for humanity, the widows and the orphans, until it is us. We don't care about something not being fair until something is not fair for us, right? Low vibrational living. It's a call for growth and expansion, heart awakening, empathy and compassion for all. Because when you come from that space, there's some things that you yourself will not be able to do. Whether you like a person or not, because we all have a personality. We all have emotion. We all have flaws. We all have, all that. But when that heart chakra, that heart, that soul consciousness, when that is healthy and alive, there's some things you're just not going to want to do. It's going to be hard to do because compassion actually lives there. It's not manufactured. It's not fake. It's not shallow. It's not surface. It's real. Something to think about as we're saying, I would never, reminding ourselves to look at ourselves for real. I once knew someone, I remember this conversation. They said, I'm just going to share a piece of it. They were like, this person was upset because, if I can remember correctly, because it's been a long time, they were upset because uh, one of their friends, I guess one of their friends and them had got into an argument, and their friend, I think the friend had blocked them or something on their phone or some shit like that. And so then the person was like, kind of ranting and raving to me as they usually did about shit, right? They were like, you know, I sent, they said something like, oh, I sent another message from another number or whatever. And I told them, what kind of friend are you? And, how dare you? I just came out of surgery and, what kind of friend are you? Something to that effect. And at that time, I'm looking, it's like the person, this is what I'm talking about, you guys, when I say how we're always saying these I would never, and that entitlement energy, that blind sense of I should be done right, no matter who I am and what I do to people. You see what I'm trying to say? That catch 22, right? The hypocrisy, double standard. And it's like, I looked and I'm like, does this person not know that they themselves have conduct that does not display that of a true friend? But in that moment, like I said, we don't care, especially those of us that are not awakened or healing or have a healthy heart chakra. We don't care until when we're sitting in something, then it's a topic of the hour in terms of, that really wasn't right. And, I really needed them, or, whatever the case may be, but not thinking about when someone really needed them and where they failed to be a proper friend, where they were a sellout, right? The reason why the universe, holographical universe, is a mirror, all these things are designed, hopefully, that's the hope of source, universe, creation, higher selves, that at some point of many rounds of things such as that we start catching, not for condemnation's sake, but for awareness and healing, to see the areas of ourselves. Like, wait a minute, I'm sitting here, wait a damn minute, And again, the disclaimer, I'm not saying it's always the case, okay? I do understand other factors, but I'm speaking specifically of cause and effect when individuals aren't practicing the very things that they feel entitled to receive. Like I said, the statement, I would never. I would never. Beatitudes, right? There's really no special clause or sidebar